Hey guys, so I've had the flu of death for about the past week, and it hasn't been fun. What else? My Jeep is in the body shop, getting all patched up from where that a-hole ran into me and took off, so I'm pretty psyched to be getting that back soon, but I've been sick and stuck in the house, and I'm pretty bored at this point. I've been thinking about things, and I recently just got some of the new Emax AVAN 2.3-inch props in. These things are pretty gnarly. We're going to get into some more details on those. But that really got me to thinking about the evolution of the 2-inch propeller over about the last 6 to 8 months and how far it's really come. Right in front of me, I have my collection of 2-inch quads and all of the 2-inch props that I've purchased over the last several months. And I want to talk about those a little bit today. So let's get into it. This adventure started maybe about 8 months or so ago now, when I got my first real, I guess you would call it, micro quad. This is a 2-inch Eachine Aurora, and this thing really showed me how good a 2-inch quad can fly. It's cheap, but it isn't perfect, and it has its own faults, and I kind of just dealt with it because I enjoyed flying it so much, and I literally flew the doors off of this thing last summer, and I still really like it. Until something happened a couple of weeks ago. And I built this. And this I have dubbed the Baby Alien, and this is probably by far one of my favorite quads right now. It's got the best of everything in it. It's got the features of a 5-inch, but the nice compact flyability of a 2-inch, and this thing is just a dream, and I love it so much. But we're really not talking about the quads today. I want to talk about the props. These are the first 2-inch props that I got. I originally purchased these as spares for the Eachine Aurora, and these things are absolutely horrible. They're Racer Star 2035 50 millimeters, so technically they're slightly larger than a 2-inch prop, not by much. I mean, we're talking about a couple tenths of a millimeter, so it's not really a big deal. But these things are absolutely horrible. The blades are flimsy. They deflect a lot when they're under load. The prop wash with these things is rather extreme. And the slightest crash, and you're just going to simply pop every blade off of these, and then you got to change them. This is kind of the best we could do when I started with the 2-inch, and you really just had to deal with it. I'm going to label this Exhibit A. This is our starting point, and let's go through and we'll take a look at the evolution of these. Now, the props started to change when the first Emax Baby Hawk came out. And that's what these are. These are specifically designed for the first generation of Emax Baby Hawk. If you look at the bolt pattern on these, you can see that they're specifically designed to only fit the Emax motors that came on the Baby Hawk. I guess that's great if you have a Baby Hawk, but it's bad for everybody else. These are a 2.3-inch 2345, and the performance on these is reasonable. They're durable, you know, to a certain extent, and they're okay. I definitely like flying these over the Racer Stars, but as you can see, I still have a box of these because as time went on, we were able to do better. So that's step 2 in our evolution. Phase 3 is these DYS 2030, and I would say that these didn't create as much lift as the first generation Baby Hawk props did. They're incredibly durable, and the prop wash handling on these was relatively good. And I actually flew these the majority of last year on the Aurora, and these are a fine prop. And this is kind of where the evolution wound up towards the end of last year. These are a true 2-inch prop, where the ones that I showed previous are slightly larger. And again, no real complaints about these. I flew them the majority of the year. However, as time went on, we were able to do slightly better. And recently, within the last few months, GemFan released their 2040 hulky, durable 2-inch tri-blade prop. And these are a decent propeller. I don't think they're as durable as the DYS ones were, but the prop wash handling is really good. and they're relatively smooth for such a tiny prop. They did leave a little to be desired, being accustomed to flying a 5-inch quad, and I would say what I would really like out of these is for them to be slightly more durable and to be able to produce maybe a little bit more thrust. But overall, I was reasonably happy with these, and they're certainly a great selection. And I would even still recommend flying these. Maybe if you have a higher KV motor, maybe perhaps you're trying to fly your 2-inch on a 3 or 4S battery pack, and you don't have quite enough room to be able to sneak in a 2.5-inch propeller in there, these would be a great option for you. Let's move into the future. These are the brand new AVAN Micro 2.3-inch props from Emax. These things are simply gnarly looking. The pitch is much more aggressive than the Gem fans. The blade is wider, and the diameter of the prop is slightly larger as well. These are a true 2.3-inch prop, which ultimately is about the largest prop that I'm going to be able to fit on my Baby Alien here. They say you can go up to a 2.4-inch, but we're cutting it a little close now as it is, and I don't know of any manufacturers that currently make a good 2.4-inch prop. The 2.5-inch ones are becoming more popular, and more manufacturers are starting to provide them. However, this is what I found so far that looks like it'll be a nice fit on the Baby Alien. So benefits and features on these, I hope you can see this, but they have 2 different hole patterns in them. So they'll be compatible with most of your micro motors, you know, 1105, 1106, 1104 motors. And whatever you're running on those, these should bolt right on to just about any motor available. They are a little bit larger of a prop, and they do have a wider blade, which should produce a considerable amount of more thrust over the Gem fans. And just all together, look at them side by side. Look at how much more gnarly the new Emax prop looks. Maybe we'll put that right side up. Okay, let's try that again. Look at how much more gnarly the Emax prop looks over the Gem fan. I am really excited to try these out, and I certainly can't wait. Okay, so now that you've seen the evolution of several different 2-inch props over the last several months, I've got my Baby Alien loaded up with the AVANs, and I'm going to take it outside, and in real time, I'm going to describe to you guys what I'm feeling on these compared to the Gem fans that I've been flying. So let's get outside, and let's get this thing in the air. I'll see you in a minute. I'm all set up outside, and I'm ready to give these things a go for the first time. But a little bit of a spoiler, I did just do a test hover because last night I updated the Baby Alien to ButterFlight version 3.4, and I just wanted to make sure that nothing was going to explode before I did this test. Well, let me get the battery plugged in and I'll tell you what I think. So at first, I'm going to say, wow. The punch is great. Maybe just a little bit more prop wash than the Gem fans. And I'm assuming that that's going to have to do with the slightly more aggressive nature of these props. Let's take a tour around the yard. Overall, I'd say they feel pretty good. They definitely have more thrust than the Gem fans. They are relatively smooth, but yeah, I think just a little bit more prop wash than the Gem fans. But I mean, really, that's going to be inherent of having a little bit steeper pitch on them. I don't know if you can hear them when I punch it. And also keep in mind too that this is ButterFlight and it's relatively untuned from the stock settings. But overall, I think I like these props because of the additional punch. Yeah, the additional punch and lift they're creating is really good. I definitely don't need as much throttle like when I do a pop-up and a dive over the house. actually a lot less throttle. I'd say these props make this guy feel a lot more like a 5-inch than a micro, and I think that's a good thing. I really like the smaller quads for practice because it's a lot easier to, you know, fly a small quad because you can fly it just about anywhere than it is a 5-inch. Also, these quads aren't as scarier as their bigger counterparts, so, you know, people are likely to get a little bit less upset about them. Yeah, these feel really good. I don't know if there's anything else that I can do about the prop wash, but the thrust that they make is amazing. And truthfully, with running ButterFlight and having the reduced prop wash, it's really not that bad, and it's definitely something that I can handle in comparison with the additional thrust. Always arms in the air after a successful landing. there it is. There's my initial thoughts of the Emax AVAN props, the 2.3 inch for Baby Hawk or other small micro quads. Overall, I'd say like these. They do have better thrust over the gem fans and over the other props that I have flown in the past. However, they do create just a little bit more prop wash. I don't think there's much I can do about that prop wash because I am running ButterFlight. But you know, the performance with that is amazing, and I'm literally complaining over just about nothing. Any standard installation of Betaflight would definitely have more prop wash than I'm experiencing with this particular setup now. So you guys are going to have to subscribe, and the reason why is I'm actually going to have some videos coming out on how to install ButterFlight and how to configure it. It is very similar to Betaflight, but you do need to know a few things if you want to enable the fast Kalman filters, and I mean, why would you install it if you weren't going to do it? So subscribe, ring the bell, you'll get notified when I upload that video. Otherwise, please like this video, leave me a comment if you have a question, I'll respond back to you. I would appreciate it if you guys bought something from HotDog FPV at hotdogfpv.com. They're one of my sponsors, and I love those guys. They're like family now. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.